What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. One Piece episode 423. Got some interesting developments going on here with so at the prison where Ace is being held. There's a lot of heavy hitters here right now. So Ace is here. We know him and Garp. I would think this is happening at the same time. Like him and Garp didn't previously have this conversation. And then we're gonna flash forward. I'm just going to assume we know Ace is here and Garp is here at this same time right now. We got Boa, we got Luffy. The Fishman Warlord, I don't know if it Jinpei, I don't forget how you pronounce his name. He's currently being held captive for, I guess disobeying, showing up for what Boa was essentially about to do, not show up. So Ace, Garp, Luffy, Boa, one of the warlords, or I guess another one of the warlords. Buggy, which, whatever. And Crocodile's here as well. I've liked Crocodile's character. I mean, it was hundreds of episodes ago, so we don't really talk about him a lot. But as far as the villains we've run into, I think he's my second favorite villain behind Enru so far that we've had. I know we've run into others, or I guess people that are oppose us, like Okuji and Kizaru and Kuma and others. But it's hard to categorize them as, I guess, villains yet, because I've got to kind of see their whole purpose and motivation. We kind of saw what Crocodile's purpose and motivation is, so I think it's easy for me to say, he's one of my favorite villains because he lands on the villain side. I prefer Okuji's character probably over him, and Kizaru made an impression, and Kuma and things, but it's hard to say oh, they're going to be villains. So we're gonna see what's going on with this. I said last episode, if Garp chose to, because I don't know what Garp's motivation is here. I wonder if he's just put it up to even if they brought Luffy in front of me and told me I had to execute and cut off his head myself, or maybe they say, I had to be the one to cut off, I got to be the one to execute Ace. I don't know if he's made it his life goal to just, they're my grandsons, my family. I'd like them to be this way, but if they go that way, that is 100% on them. I'll try to, I guess, help them in certain directions and do certain things, but I'm not going to be the one to let it go, I don't know if he's fully committed to the Marines as far as I'll help the boys as much as I can, but if they get put in situations, I can't save them, and I will be loyal to the Marines. And if they say Ace, or if they say Garp, you're the one that's going to be dropping the axe on Ace's head, he would do it. Or if he saw a window, if he truly would feel like he'd break them out. I said he has the manpower to do so right now if he wanted to. Buggy would help us just because I think he would. Crocodile might join just because, at least getting out of here. I'm not saying we got to fight the world government and all of a sudden Buggy and Crocodile are going to be helping us. No, but I'm saying to get out of this situation, there's firepower here to do it. You already got Luffy and Boa. Garp is on the side as well, and Ace. Those four alone right there is enough to get you out of here. As well as the other warlord that would probably help Crocodile. So if Garp wanted to initiate Operation Break Ace Out, he could. Now, he could, because I've only seen so much on screen. There could be an admiral or somebody that stays on this base 24/7 that maybe nobody can deal with, not even Garp and all the other Conquerors, Hakai, Boa, and everybody else. But I'm under the impression that if he wanted to, he could, but I don't think he wants to or will. On top of, I don't know how Luffy's getting out of this. Do we think a smooth situation happens here where somehow Boa doesn't get body searched and they find Luffy here? Or do you think they straight up find Luffy, he busts out the room and just starts running and looking for Ace? Do you think it just sets off like that? I don't know. And they're putting sea prism stones on her, or handcuffs. My thing is what are the handcuffs doing when you've got people like her, perfect example, walking around with the perfect Hakai? What's the purpose, by the way? She can't just flex and bust out of those. Oh, it's turning off her devil's fruit. Okay. And if in 0.2 seconds she wanted to flex and bust out of it, I don't know. That's a whole other question. Because I used to ask that a while back. I was like, we're gonna be introduced to some characters that are just like strong enough to where, because I know like the prism not only like cancels out the devil's fruit, but like also kind of like weakens you a little bit as well. I don't think it's taking you out like that, in my opinion, but let's see. Let's see. They really got that snail just plugged to the wall up there. I mean, she has to. Don't draw it out either. Oh, God. What are we doing? What are we doing here, guys? Wow, she's really committed. She's really doing a lot. Boa is risking a lot. Yeah, she's got to unturn her to stone. Yeah, and she has to like get in the handcuffs. Good luck. It's as far as I could do for you, buddy. Give her a hug or something at least. Like, come on now. I don't think he... I don't think he understands what he's dealing with. Just like how, like, they thought it was all fun and games, like going over there and starting a ruckus and shit and hitting celestial dragons. I don't think they I don't think they understand what they were getting into with that. I don't think Luffy understands what is going on right now. Just like the temperature of the world right now and what's going on in the space that he operates in. Threat levels are dialed up to 10 right now. People are on edge. This like giggle games, Team Rocket, Scooby-Doo games that he likes to play and run around and giggle in and think he can just punch his way out of it's not working. Notice, but he did just see that with the whole Kuma thing and the crew. But him just running in here thinking this is gonna go is kind of crazy. Oh. Uh-oh, they're gonna bust in there. He's like, I have to come in this room. I hope you guys aren't, A little bit. Okay, so where did Luffy go? Luffy, what are we doing? With those loose-ass flip-flops that could fall off at any given moment. Well, they're going to Ace, though, right? So you just gotta follow them, correct? She said she wanted to see Ace, and they're gonna show Ace. So he's gotta somehow Spider-Man his way without getting caught. Luffy, you have to get under those gates, no? What dumbass shit is he doing? Sweet Jesus. Why did they have him whisper it like that too? Good lord. Oh lord. Let's see how this goes. I'm really curious, like the security measures, and not just the security measures, but the firepower that they have at this place. Because you've got to be able to keep these strong prisoners in, and like I said, if you try to lock up somebody in here on Boa's level with the Conqueror's Hakai, what's keeping them from just flexing and busting up out of there? Truly. Now, I don't know if Ace possesses any Haki. Excuse me, I keep saying Hakai. Any Haki. But I feel like a lot of characters could flex and bust out of a lot of this. So what's actually keeping them locked up, I guess, is the question. You know, in a lot of anime and stories and movies, they're always like, oh, this is the most maximum security prison in the world. Or this is the most maximum security, like, blah, 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 XYZ. And then, like, the main character will go in there with his buddies and just, like, slap around the guards. And people could just break out and it's just so easy. It's like, dang, that was the max security place y'all are talking about that the main crew was able to bust out in like half a story arc. So the lower, the worse. Yeah. That's a secret. Starvation. The burning heat floor. We just keep a fire burning up underneath it. In the meantime, you'll hear the pleasant screams, he says. They got Ace even further down there. See what I'm saying? Like the example I just gave? This man is just freely walking through this prison. Hasn't ran into one guard, one security camera. Oh, shit. What's up with the long hair, Buggy? Notice he's being held on level 1. That's how much I don't take him serious. Do they not know that he has Devil Fruit power? What is he just like using it to get through the damn cells as he moves around? What? See what I'm saying? Like he's just walking around. This prison seems super, super scary, guys. Prisoners just walking around. Luffy's never been here once in his life. Just hanging out. I've yet to come across any iteration of storytelling where like the scary max security prison actually is that scary. Go over the top. He didn't even try. Like, is all their faith in those surveillance drones? I mean, the surveillance snails. I'm assuming him and Luffy are gonna run into each other. Assuming. No idea what these even are. You gotta go through the gate. You gotta get down there, buddy. What are we gonna do here? He didn't... You're telling me the prisoner has to inform you if I possess a devil's fruit? Guys, what are we doing here? This is a maximum security prison? He's like, he was hiding the fact that he was a There's gotta be some way to test that, clearly. I mean, we could toss him in water and shit, but then you could fake that you could swim or couldn't swim. But you telling me everything Mr. Vegapunk scientist boy is over here doing, feeding like dogs to cannons and, you know, cannons to animals and whatever, they don't have some kind of like litmus paper test, or you can pee in a cup or something, a blood prick that could just say that this person possesses a devil's fruit? Come on now. Come on, guys. Frankie is 10% still actual human and consumes cola, but we can't come up with a way to like do a finger prick test to see if this person is... There should easily be a way to just like finger prick, put their blood on water and see what it does, or something random like that. Yeah, this is about what I expected this to be. A lot of like Scooby-Doo games, Team Rocket. Yeah. This is what I expected this to be. I'm assuming they're gonna run into each other here. A lot of booby traps and... Oh, he's that way! No, get him, he's that way! They don't even know who this is. Well, they might notice him from wanted posters. We're just in here. Just in here. He's not a prisoner. Stop running in place. Break them out, break them out, break them out, break them out. Like chaos. You gotta get chaos going. You need chaos. You need cover. Correct. Is it impossible? There's only one way to find out. That floor holds all the criminals with bounties of hundreds of millions or more. Who was that one figure? One was Crocodile, I think the other was the Fishman Warlord. Who was the middle figure there? Interesting. Honestly, Luffy, break them out. You need the cover. You need the commotion. Why don't we actually just fight back? We know he's not dead. Simple enough. Now, I thought he had to separate himself. Guys. Do you know who that is? Clearly. Stop with the flashbacks. Don't do another one. Stop. Well, can he help us? Bro, put your floating head back on. How's the floating head even moving that fast? Yes, perfect. We came just to get you. Correct. You're correct. How is he able to hit him, by the way? They're not chasing you guys anymore, by the way. There doesn't seem to be anything behind them. This is the giggle games I'm talking about, by the way. I don't even know what those are, by the way. Are we good? Peaceful escape plan, he says. Doesn't seem very peaceful. I forgot how much I didn't miss his, like, over-the-top screaming and yelling. It's like Usopp on steroids. I can't get over the fact that he was able to just casually lie about having a devil's fruit ability is crazy. Actually crazy. Red hair. Talking about Shanks. Bingo. Can we not turn around and, like, hit those things one time? I was about to say, we're just gonna keep running or what? Are they, was it that easy the whole time? Team up. Oh, and it just ends like that. So I wanted to go back and look at who that, yeah, that's right here. It's a figure that we recognize. All right, Crocodile. I think this is the, I'm pretty sure that's the silhouette of the, Fisherman Warlord. Not 100% positive. Dang, sun really went down that quick, right? It looks so much brighter when I started. I don't know who that middle figure is. I don't recognize it at all. Crocodile, I mean. You can't not recognize the hook. Hundreds of millions, huh? Interesting. I'm sure they've name dropped Crocodile. They've shown his silhouette. We're going to run into him. Is he gonna be willful in helping us get out? Good question. Yeah, this is about what I expected as far as, like, the prison not feeling too threatening or too serious or too scary. And like I said, you see it in a lot of anime, you see it in a lot of, I guess, like, comic book adaptations or just other stories of, like, what, insert prison name, whatever the prison name is for that given story. And it's like, oh man, once you go in, you never come out. Blah blah blah. They've got the, like, the worst of the worst are held captive there. No one's ever been able to break out. And they'll always have some, like, scary old time criminal in there. It's like, kid, there's no way to get out of here. I've tried. And then they just randomly show up. It's a bunch of giggle here, giggle there, Scooby-Doo games, and they break out. It's like, wow, this is the world-renowned prison, huh? That's that scary, that holds the worst of the worst world's criminals that's never been broken out of in thousands or hundreds of years. Once you go in, you never come out. Buried below the earth or below the ocean's surface, yada yada yada. And then you'll have random characters like Luffy or random comic book characters show up and run prison guards around and yada yada yada, and they just bust up out of there. So I don't know if that's what's gonna happen here. It's formula feels like it. He's running around, doesn't know where he's going. There's no guards in sight, security cameras, buggies walking around loose. They don't even have a way to determine. But that's what's interesting to me with all the scientific advancements they seem to be making and what they've done to, like, Kuma and Kuma clones and how Frankie's able to live and how they get inanimate objects to eat things and consume things and turns into these, like, devil's fruit combo things. You guys don't have a way to easily determine if someone possesses a devil's fruit? Not one? Granted, you could have tossed them in some water, but that could be maybe somehow faked. Probably not, but like, there's no blood test or just like any scientific advancement that could test that. Because you gotta really like imagine how serious of an issue that could be. Yeah, it's Buggy and his devil's fruit's not that serious. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of devil's fruits that we're going to get introduced to along the way that are like a planet busting problem. But could you imagine if like Enru or someone, let's say Enru was like really juiced up, had a Conqueror's level hockey or whatever, and his lightning has been juiced, just he's been training and all that type of shit, and somehow he's in here. No, I don't possess a devil's fruit, and he walks around and just lightning nukes the entire prison. Like, that's good. We can't have this be a simple oversight. And I use Enru because I'm just trying to think of all the devil's fruits that we run into that could probably cause the most like destruction. I mean, yeah, you could put Ace in there, could put Blackbeards and others in there, but just imagine like devil's fruits on those levels that could be like catastrophic. We're just gonna take their word for it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if you don't have a way to confirm, everybody just has to be put in those handcuffs, point blank, period, in my opinion. So I don't know, the prison doesn't seem too scary at the moment. And like I said, in a lot of adaptations, there's never anybody that's like on site that would be like a guard problem that we would have to get through. Could you imagine if like they kept like Okuji and Kizaru, like they kept one of the three admirals at the prison at all times? Could you imagine that? If Okuji, Kizaru, oh, we're still missing one, aren't we? Yeah, I don't have the name of or the identity of the third. I think we've seen the silhouette and you guys have told me like, oh, when we were at this arc, that was him. Don't know his name, don't know what he possesses, don't know what he does. Now, if you told me they did that, they kept one of the three rotated off the prison at all times, okay, then I take the prison serious. But as of right now, it seems very Scooby-Doo Giggle Games to me. So we'll leave it there and see what happens. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,